Ruki Go, thank you for joining us here on our Face Off on India at 9. But Sudhanshu Mittal will stay on with us, defending the BJP and the government's decision on the real estate bill, which is now seeking to regulate the realty business. It's in trouble in the Rajya Sabha, where it's listed for consideration tomorrow, Tuesday. Rahul Gandhi, remember, has been spearheading that opposition as well. CNN-IBN's Jagriti Chandra speaks to experts and home buyers to figure out if the bill really is anti-consumer, as is made out by the Congress heir apparent.
Suresh Vaidyanathan waits for a house that had to be delivered 10 months back. It has been delayed by 18 months and he says the company is likely to miss that deadline. These delays are putting a strain on his household expenses. Suresh pays 40,000 rupees rent every month and 50,000 rupees as EMI for his dream house. He's among almost 1 million affected home buyers.
As an eager person who has invested 50 lakh rupees in this particular project, I am keen that I get possession quickly. Sadly, in the last 6 to 9 months, I don't see any laborers working there. I don't see any transformational growth happening, not even incremental growth. The same structure, which is 18th floor, is still standing there.
As per the data available from the year 2011 to 2014, around 4,495 projects are facing massive delays and are still under construction. That means 9,92,000 houses have been affected due to delays by 20 to 33 months.
Most of the issues are not because of the developers. They are unmindful regulations, unmindful interference, multiplicity of clearances, and so many agencies poking their nose into execution of the project.
Experts say this is a problem that has been driven by the real estate boom, where developers have launched projects many times beyond their capabilities.
Despite builders not able to deliver their previous projects, there is no law or regulation which governs the launch of new projects.
With the new bill reducing the money to be deposited by builders from 70% to 50%, extra money will now be available with the developers, which can then be diverted to other projects like JP did with the Formula 1 circuit. While there are a few positives in the new bill, as it emphasizes on transparency, meeting the stipulated timeline and a regulatory body, many question how these will be enforced.
These are all a wish list. It's a good intentions by the government to be put in this bill. But end of the day, it has to be enforced.
With Vijay Guneet Singh and Arjun Singh, this is Jagriti Chandra.
As to our talking point tonight, does the government's new real estate bill, and remember this is going to be taken up for consideration in the Rajya Sabha tomorrow, does it ignore the concerns of home buyers? Over the weekend, we had Rahul Gandhi meeting with a bunch of home buyers here in Delhi and saying that he will fight for them as much as he's fighting for the farmers of this country. On our talking point tonight, Saloni Parvati is a home buyer, also regional manager of Indian Immunological Limited. Tom Vadakan, spokesperson of the Congress Party, Sudhanshu Mittal of the BJP, and Naveen Raheja is chairman and MD of Raheja Developers. Before I open up this in terms of getting the politicians in, I want to bring in Saloni first because she's a home buyer. Tell our viewers and tell the rest of the guests on our panel, you know, when did you invest in the house that you wanted to buy? How long has it been? And what is the reason for the delay from the builder's end?
Yeah, we have purchased the house in May 2012.
Okay.
And the builder, he was giving in the possession in 2012 December.
And this is mentioned in your contract?
Yeah, it was mentioned. But after some time, he said it is going to be delayed for 6 months. Then another 6 months. Now he said it will be on 31st March. We will give you the possession.
So basically, your project has been delayed for what, over
2 years?
Over 2 years
Yeah.
now. And what reason do they give for this delay? I mean, why is it delayed?
There is no specific reason. Right now, they are they are taking the shield of NGT. Because of the NGT, we can't give you the possession.
What has the NGT done that they can't give you possession? I mean,
because of the NGT, they can't give the possession. They are saying that UP government, they has banned it, the possession.
Okay.
So, and NGT is for last 3 years. When we took the house, that time they said that our sector 120 doesn't come in the NGT.
At all.
Yeah, because it is 11.20 kilometers away.
So your suspicion is your builder, just like many other builders around the country, has taken your money and then rotated that money to build, to invest in other projects.
Yeah, he
right?
has invested.
Okay, let me bring Mr. Raheja in before I get both the politicians in, and I'm sure this will be a bit of a fight between Mr. Vadakan and Mr. Mittal. But Mr. Raheja, this is the most common accusation that most home buyers have, that they have paid upfront 80%, 90%, in some cases 100% of the money, and yet A, they're not getting their flats, and B, that money has then been used by the builder/developer to invest and start new projects, other projects. I mean, that's just plain cheating.
I'm representing the entire developer community in India, but let me ask one counter question. Why is that all the developers in the country, and particularly in NCR, are not able to deliver on time? Has anybody thought on that? Number two, is the issue of NGT or is the issue of Noida buyers, the fight between the Kisans and the authority and the developers, is it in the hands of the developers?
No. Hang
Secondly,
on. No. You're confusing issues here. You're confusing issues here because it's not just the NCR. Projects have been delayed across cities, and we're running that graphic. In the NCR, there are more than 1,500 projects which have a delay of over 2.5 years. Give me a moment. In Bangalore, there are 2,500 projects which have been delayed by more than a year. Across India, 10 lakh units have been delayed by more than a year. So this NGT thing, that argument doesn't apply. I'm sorry.
No, that's what exactly I wanted to convey. You cannot say that all the developers in the country and everybody is delaying the project deliberately, or everybody is diverting money, or everybody is bad. It is not that. It is certain things which are not in the hands of developers, which are forcing, and rather they have made us such that developers in the country are not able to deliver. Let me tell you the basic issues. Basic issues in this country are because there are more than 40 departments and regulations which are applicable. You simply are not allowing developers to work in this country.
But hang on, Mr. Raheja, I mean, didn't you know, hang on a second, no, I'm sorry. Didn't you know that there are these 40 departments before you launched these projects? I mean, you very well know that there are these 40 clearances that need to be got. I mean, the fact now you're turning around and saying that you are the victim. No. I'm sorry. That's a completely facile argument, and I don't think any home buyer needs to take that, right? You knew that there were 40 clearances.
Let me please try to understand this. In our country, in last 10 years, every department has poked his nose into real estate, and one way or the other, everybody is coming and putting some spanner in construction industry itself, because they find here there is a customer's money which is lying with developers, and they can play around with developers in any manner. We have to give single window clearance,
so can I ask you simple,
and atmosphere
before you get to all this, give me one straight answer, okay? You have huge problems in getting all these clearances. Can you name for me one builder in this country who's returned the money back to the buyer and said, look, we can't execute this project, we're sorry, we're giving you your money back in full? Can you name for me one builder? One.
Yeah, yes, we do give. When something gets delayed, then it is prerogative of customer as per flat buyer agreement. They get their money back. If they have to apply for it.
I don't think a single home buyer watching this program would testify to that. Do you testify to that, Saloni? Do you know anybody in your friend circle,
never.
who's got money back from a builder because the project is unviable? There you go. I mean, I've invested in a flat too. I've been waiting for the last 5 years.
It is not like
and
this.
no builder, trust me, I mean, I know you're fighting for the builders, you
Zaka,
represent the builders.
well,
No
Zaka,
builder in
as
this
far
country
as-
returns
as far
money
as-
back to a home buyer saying, sorry, we can't execute this project.
There are developers, there are credible developers who are doing all
I
this.
don't know where these developers
Who are-
are. Maybe they're
who are
on
taking
Mars.
care of
I
their
don't know.
customers.
Maybe they're on Neptune
You know,
or Pluto.
then
They're
there
certainly
are
not on.
in-
They're
in-
certainly
in
not in
city
India.
like Gurgaon,
Mr. Raheja,
let me
now
tell
bring
you,
in.
in
Let
city
me now
like-
bring in. No.
in
You've
city
had
like
you've had
Gurgaon.
enough of your say. Let me now bring in Sudhanshu Mittal. This new real estate bill.
let
This
me-
new
let
real
me add
estate
another-
bill.
let
This
me
new
add
no.
another one thing, you know.
No. Let me bring the others in. I'll come back to you. This new real estate bill. The single most contentious clause in it is the reduction of the money that the developers have to put in a separate account. It's come down from 70% to 50%. I have a simple question to you. I am paying 100% of my money to the builder. Why should only 50% of that go to an escrow account or any safe account and 50% used by the builder to invest in another project? I mean, that's using my money for the builder's own growth.
No. Zaka, let me just joining before from where you started this debate. You know, let's understand there are two cycles in real estate industry. One is when the prices are going up. You know, there the delay is to the advantage of the buyer, because when the project gets delayed, the market value of the project of the flat increases because the prices are going up. So in spite of the delay, nobody wants to get the money back. The problem gets accentuated when there's a downside. Like nowadays, you have a very sluggish market. In fact, no buyers, no real estate. The prices are on a decline. Now, the moment the prices are on a decline, everybody wants to hold not only them accountable, but also wants to wriggle out of the contract. People don't pay up. See what this bill envisages. This bill, earlier there was no regulation which permitted people to withdraw from the contract they had entered with the buyer, with the seller. This bill envisages that a buyer is at liberty to get out of the contract after getting only 5% cut, which means now, as it is happening today, when the prices have come down say by 30% or 40%, I may have booked it at 40% more prices, but only on a penalty of 5%, I'm able to withdraw.
But that's
now,
not my question. That's not my question. If you can now come to my question and answer that,
No,
I would much appreciate that.
Yeah. At the end of the day, a project where and let me tell you, when the buyers pay,
can I speak?
No,
there are two methods of paying.
Give me a
One is
second,
the
Mr.
lump
Raheja.
sum
Let
paid
Mr. Mittal make his point, and hopefully he'll answer my question in the next 30 seconds to a minute, because you've been going around in loops. My question was very simple. In the previous bill, it was 70% of the money should be deposited in an escrow account. Now it's been brought down to 50%. I, as a home buyer, why should my hard-earned money be used by a builder to develop a second project? Sudhanshu Mittal. Only Sudhanshu Mittal speaks. I will come back to you, Mr. Raheja. I will give you enough and more time, but Sudhanshu Mittal.
It is this was the recommendation of the standing committee which has been followed. Secondly, the projects, it's a township development. The projects in township developments just do not pertain to a one building. It pertains to a lot of this thing. And we have to take a realistic view of what is the environment of construction industry. So a 50% for this project, because there is already an investment which the seller has made in terms of the land prices which is already got there,
He said it
which is
all.
adequately compensated and protected by this kind of a system.
I find it unbelievable. You know why? Because how come you didn't accept the recommendations of the Standing Committee on the Land Acquisition Bill? There, the Standing Committee doesn't matter. There were 24 amendments moved by the current Speaker of the Lok Sabha. She was the chairman of the Standing Committee. All 24 amendments got accepted. You don't care about the Standing Committee on Land Acquisition. Suddenly, on real estate development, it's like the Standing Committee has delivered the gospel truth, and the government can't go against the Standing Committee. I find that
please have your facts
unbelievable.
clear.
I find that unbelievable.
Mr. Zaka, please have your facts clear.
What are the facts?
Mr.
Come on.
Zaka,
Yeah, what are the facts?
Zaka, have your facts
Yeah,
clear.
lay out the
I'm
facts.
so surprised. I am so surprised that you can make such a preposterous,
Go ahead.
untrue statement on a national television.
Can you cut out
It
the
shocks
adjectives?
me.
Can you please
When
cut out the
did-
adjectives
when
and
did
lay
the
out the
amendment
facts?
go to the Standing Committee? Sir, Sir, when did the amendment go to the standing committee?
Didn't
When
the
did the amendment go to
committee
the
on
standing
land
committee?
acquisition say
Don't make
80%
no.
of
You
farm
are making a
buyers'
false
consent
statement.
is required for
Sir,
acquiring land?
that bill
Simple
was already,
question.
that is already an act.
What do you mean? What,
That is already
didn't
an act.
the parliamentary
That
standing
is already
committee,
an
which was
act.
headed by
And
your
after the
current
act
Lok
was
Sabha
enacted, there
speaker,
is an
say
amendment to the act.
80% consent is required
Mr. Zaka,
to
if you do
acquire
not know,
land?
please don't make sweeping
Oh,
statements.
come on.
Mr. Zaka,
I
Mr.
find this
Zaka, if you do not
unbelievable.
know,
Anyway, Tom
don't make
Barakan,
don't make a sweeping statement.
I
You
want
are
to bring
expected to be
you
responsible.
respond to Mr. Sudhanshu.
You are
Mittal.
expected to be responsible.
Have I made a factual mistake? You tell me.
I don't think there's a mistake. Mr. Sudhanshu
You have made a
Mittal
factually incorrect
understands
statement.
the industry very well. He represents that section, and he understands the pulse of that group of builders, and that the allegation that we are making proves it right. Today, Sudhanshu Mittal is right in the scene talking about property rates that were escalated and has come down to a level. He's talking about it as a stock market. We are talking about human beings, residences, houses. This is an emotive issue.
Yeah,
this is not market up and market down.
Yeah, but how come
we are not into trading?
But how come you didn't talk about it for the 10 years that you were in power?
We had
So
a
why
law.
did you not pass the
We
bill?
had a law in place.
Sir, why did you not
They
pass
have
the bill?
started an amendment
Because
in
of
the estate.
the
What have
builders
they
paid
done?
A
you.
bulk of these projects are delayed from 2010, 2011.
Sir,
It's not like these
let me
projects
tell you,
But
were
the
delayed from
government
2014.
did
Let me tell you.
not support them.
You did not
The
clear
law
this
was
bill
there
because
in support. But what are they doing? This is open hijacking. The government has joined hands with the builders. I'm not saying all builders are bad. There are bad apples and good apples.
Just like
Mr.
you're saying,
Raheja-
not all corporates are bad, but that's
No,
another debate.
The Rahejas may be good, or somebody else may be good or bad. That's not the issue. Mr. Raheja represents the builders. So he has to listen to this. Builders have taken common man for a ride.
Please,
And
please,
today,
give me 2 minutes.
I will
Please
give you
me
2
just
minutes.
1 minute
Mr.
to
Raheja,
speak.
this is a promise I've made to you before on the show. I will come back to you. I will give you your 2 minutes, but let Mr. Madakan finish his point.
This
Then they have it a rentable area.
Look,
Zaka,
there is
please ask
no
him
point.
why this bill was not passed by Congress.
Gentlemen, this is not a high school, slanging match. This is not that TV show where people talk over each other's heads. Let's do this as civilized adults, okay? So let Mr. Vadakan finish, and I'll come to you, Mr. Raheja. Vadakan.
3 issues have been dramatically introduced in this amendment, 3 to 4,
Allow me to make
which
you
means the
understand.
2013 Act has been diluted in connivance with the present institutionalized setup link with the builders. And they have diluted the whole
Let
thing.
me
That's why
tell
we're
you
standing up
even-
and screaming.
Let me tell
and
you
the
even
common man is a
2000
house he's asking for.
Okay.
He's not asking for a bungalow.
Mr. Raheja, now, go ahead. Make your point.
So it's become more
Please
strict.
give me 2 minutes.
Yes, go ahead.
Please
You
give
have
me
your 2 minutes. Go
to-
ahead.
Please allow me to speak for 2 minutes. Please.
You
please
have
allow
your
me to
time.
speak
Go
for
ahead,
2 minutes.
sir.
Let's look at it. Let's look at it when a project. Please, when a project is booked by a customer, that project is to be constructed and completed and to be delivered to the customer. We are with the customer to the extent that whatever money is required to complete the project, that money should go to the escrow account. So that money should not be diverted for any other project or for any other thing. Right from 2013, even in 2013 Naredco has been talking about, please, whatever money is required to complete the project, that money should be escrowed. No, there can be no uniform benchmark of 70% or 50% or 30%. They are all a sham and they are just being put unnecessarily. Now let me make you understand. Let's look at one project where the cost of land is just 10% and cost of construction is 80% or 90 and 10% is the profit. Now if you allow 50% money to be taken out, how that project can be completed? We are not only developers, I'm talking from the point of view of customers also. How is this 50% correct?
Okay.
Or for that matter, how was that 70% correct?
So what are you saying? Zero
You
money,
have
zero
to
money
have
in an
a
escrow account. What are you saying? I mean,
pragmatic,
is that your solution?
Practical approach.
Zero money in the escrow account? No safeguard for the buyer? Is that what you're saying?
The money required to complete the project should be put in a
But who
escrow
decides
account.
that?
The money required
Who decides
to complete
that?
the project, from where you have. Very simple, very simple. You are going to bring this act where you are going to ask for declarations. How much is your cost of land? How much is the cost of completing the project? And you are going to clear it. Now, what is the cost of the project should be escrowed. That's all.
Okay, okay. We really...
11, section 11, subsection 1. Gets away the transparency clause. Quarterly, they were supposed to report how many flats sold, how many
But
are
now
empty.
that's not there.
All that's been moved out.
Okay.
It's been deleted.
We have to
And that's what transparency is all
completely
about.
end this debate. We have to end this debate. I'm really sorry,
Zaka,
Mr.
I am
Mittal.
asking.
I'm
Zaka,
sure
allow me the last word.
we will have more
Zaka, allow me
discussions
the
on
last
this.
word.
It's going to be
Allow me the
taken up
last
in
word.
Parliament tomorrow. I really have to
allow
wrap
me the
up
last
time.
word. Why did the Congress not pass this bill?
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Why did the Congress not pass this bill?
I'm sure we will have more opportunities. I'm sure we will have more opportunities. May I please very humbly request all of you, gentlemen, thank you, and lady, thank you for joining us. I'm really sorry we have to wrap up because of the paucity of time. But we're told that this bill will be taken up for discussion tomorrow in Parliament, which is the reason why Rahul Gandhi, who was supposed to lead a protest on this very issue, has now reportedly pulled out of that protest. He's going to take a call depending on how the debate pans out in Parliament tomorrow, and we will have that story covered here on India at 9. We're going to take a break here on the program. When we come back, we'll have more stories, big headlines that have happened today, including a big firefight inside the Aam Aadmi Party. Another controversy, a party volunteer